All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kayla Buck. I worked as the squad lead, the product manager, and a developer for the team.
My name is Jack Sabota. I'm just a developer for this team. At our table out there, you'll find Ben Fabel. He is a development manager for our project as well as a developer. You also find Emmanuel Lopez, a developer, and Nian Yugan, another developer. First semester, we had a very nice student, Rosamine Ishway, who joined us for a semester. She's an integrated science major, but she left us for second semester, unfortunately. A little bit about NRC and our project. NRC Health is a healthcare company that offers a suite of products to help other healthcare systems monitor and measure their patients' experiences by recording their customers' data. The NRC Production Support Group is tasked with maintaining this database, and they regularly receive requests to update and modify this customer data. Currently, these updates must be made in production databases manually, which has some inherent risk to it due to the nature of production data, and that if you mess up production data, you will very quickly see the fruits of those mistakes in your product. Our task was to build a new application where these requests can be handled in a safe and consistent way, eliminating some of the human error by automating processes and adding guardrails and safety. This would allow NRC to deliver these updates to their customers with no ill effect to the production database and portals which are fed by those databases.
So our stakeholders were John Hansling he was the product owner for NRC Health, and then Sherry Patterson worked as the product manager. We also received a lot of help from Alex Sadea and Andy Essink, Travis Ficken, and then amongst these other stakeholders. So the current process that the PSG team uses is a manual script that they run to update customer data. The problem with this is there are inherent risks with production data, and there can be inconsistencies when updating, and this can also be caused by human error. So the opportunity that we were given by NRC Health was to develop an application that would execute automatically requests for updating customer data.
A little bit about our solution. Our solution ended up not creating an entirely new application, but rather adding in a new section to a pre-existing internal NRC web application known as Console, which would allow members of the production support team to submit requests. We also had to build our solution to fit in and match all NRC styles and standards as we were building off an existing NRC website and repository. To use it, a member of the production support team simply logs on to the Console web application, navigates to the data management tab, which only they have access to because of their role built into the website, and they are then able to enter in a request. They can also approve other requests, view requests queued to be run, and see completed processes and requests, which Caleb is going to elaborate on the next slide.
So the workflow of this project was we would submit a job, and in this submitted job we would have a date range from and to in fields and identifiers. Then this would be reviewed by another PSG member that had approval status, and you can either approve it or reject it depending on what you find with the inputs, and then as long as it gets approved, then it will be moved into a queue, and then in this queue it will be set to scheduled, and then the oldest approved date would be ran first before the others. Then you would be able to see either completed, failed, aborted, canceled types of jobs in the job history.
If you want to see what we just talked about, we have a table out there of demos. A little bit more into some of the value for NRC and some of the highlights that we had. We managed to build a front-end web application to submit requests and with safety built in, as we kind of mentioned, where you can't have a from date that is after a to date. You can't enter in a request that would be too big so that it would slow down the database. Every request that's entered has to both be entered and then approved by different people, which ensures that there are at least 2 sets of eyes looking at every request submitted to make sure there aren't any mistakes slipping through. We also built in the back-end APIs to receive and store the requests and connect to NRC's existing databases. For us as a team, we had a lot of really valuable learning opportunities over these past 2 semesters. We learned a lot of new languages and technologies like Ember.js and Nest.js. We also learned a lot about sprint planning, how to properly point tasks and plan out our weeks. And lastly, we benefited a lot from having to work within an established style and coding standard. We kind of had to change the way we worked to make sure that what we were producing fit in well with everything else that NRC produced and lived up to their high standards.
So we wanted to also thank NRC for the opportunity that they've given us in performing this project, as well as all the help that they've given. And we'd like to welcome John Hansling up here so we can give him an award and a proper thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Good work.
Thank you.
Very much.
We asked you a lot of questions and used a lot of your time, so thank you.
Happy to do it.